Topping today's news, a man found dead in waters off Prince George Wharf today. Prime Minister Davis working on behalf of the country in London, and a growing debate over what the unemployment rate really looks like. This is your Jcn Evening News. It's a pleasure to have you join us. The lifeless body of a black male was found floating in waters off Prince George Wharf early this morning. This discovery was called into police around 7 a.m. Giving more details into this matter is Assistant Commissioner of Police, Delarice Ferguson.
About 7:15 a.m. this morning, the police received a call of a body of a male floating in waters here. And with the help of our partners from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, we were able to retrieve the body of a black male. He was brought to this area. EMS personnel visited the scene and determined that he was lifeless. The crew from the Central Division, along with the Tourism Division, CSI, and CID attended the scene. We are currently actively investigating this matter.
According to police, the clothed body appeared to have been in the waters for quite some time. ACP Ferguson telling reporters on the scene that there were no visible wounds on the victim. As investigations are still early, police could not say whether foul play was involved. Police also did not immediately identify the victim. However, ACP Ferguson says he appears to be a Bahamian. During Prime Minister Philip Davis's visit to England for the coronation of King Charles III, which takes place on May 6th, he was also busy conducting the country's business. Prime Minister Davis held a courtesy call with the Lord Mayor of London, Nicholas Lyons, where he discussed a number of important financial matters, including the Bahamas blacklisting by some financial institutions.
As you know, the Bahamas was in fact one of the leading offshore financial centers from the 60s, 70s, 80s, up to the 90s, when a decision was taken to eliminate offshore jurisdictions and try to make most financial services onshore. It impacted us greatly. So we have a cadre of experts, Bahamian experts. We have a skilled bank of financial services providers, but we don't have the business because we are continually targeted. We are one of 6 countries in the world that is compliant on the FATF, Financial Task Force, 40 recommendations, one of 6. Yet still, the European Union would want to blacklist us.
Appearing before International Ambassador for the UK's financial and professional services sector, Lord Mayor Lyons, the Prime Minister, who was joined by opposition leader Michael Pintard, doubled down on matters of financial importance.
We are very agile in this space because it's not going to take us long to introduce legislation, regulations to address any issues that might arise. It gives us the agility to create new products in the market, which we've been doing over the last several years. And we have now have taken a very aggressive approach to the digital space.
Earlier, Prime Minister Davis gave remarks to the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council Roundtable, emphasizing his concern that there is not enough discussion on implementing practical solutions when it comes to the matter of climate change and its disastrous effects on small island developing states. While Central Bank Governor John Rowell estimates that unemployment in the Bahamas is projected higher than it was pre-COVID-19 pandemic, Labor Minister Keith Bell begs to differ. During the Central Bank quarterly press briefing on Monday, Governor Rowell, while acknowledging that there has not been any recent official estimates of the unemployment rate, suggested that the reduction in the unemployment rate will depend on the speed at which the economy grows after 2023. Minister of Labor and Immigration Keith Bell responding to those claims, which he described as startling and false.
I'm not sure where he's getting this information from, but it would appear to me that the economy is opened. Persons are working in significant numbers. Bahamians I know Bahamians who have 2 and 3 jobs. But again, we cannot say these things unless we are supported by scientific, comprehensive approach, because it is subjective.
Minister Bell says he does not necessarily believe that the unemployment rate is lower, but is comparative.
The economy has opened, and we have one thing that is high on this government's agenda is job creation. And I think you can look all around the country and you could see the economy has opened, jobs are available in every sector, particularly in the construction industry.
As to when we can expect the labor force survey, Minister Bell says it should be sometime this year. The National Tripartite Council has plans to review the Employment Act to raise the minimum age for employment to align with the provisions with the minimum age for leaving school. This following the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, in a report pushing the country to change the minimum employment age. Now, following this recommendation, there has been some pushback, with members of the public concerned that this will result in more young children leaving school. National Tripartite Council Chairman Sharon Martin says the council is well aware of the concerns, but is adamant that a change must be made.
But we also have to take a keen look at the policy, the child labor policy in the Bahamas. We also have to take a look at the children who are working in the food stores and what age they, there has to be a limit on how old you are in order to work. Again, policy is everything. And if you do not initiate policies, if you do not initiate boundaries, then everybody does everything. And who knows what's legal and what's illegal. And that's the main thing. The minimum age needs to be raised in order for a lot of things in the Bahamas to really take shape.
When the Minister of Labor and Immigration was asked for his thoughts on the matter, he says that there needs to be proper in-depth research on the topic before an informed decision can be made. But he does believe the country needs to move with the modern times.
We have to ensure that there is parity in the law in terms of age. The age to vote cannot be different from the age to drink, from the age to drive. All of these different things, we have to make sure that there is everything is on one accord, and so that it makes no sense. And so I can only say that laws are evolving. Nothing is static, and until we get the proper in-depth research and of course consultation, and the cabinet decision, then we will be in a better position to address that question. But it is being considered.
According to Article 7 of the Child Protection Act, the minimum age of employment is 16 years in Article 49 or 14 years in Article 50 of that Employment Act. And finally, in this segment, the Ministry of Public Service has been made aware of false information circulating via social media regarding the start of the 52-week program. In response to false information, the ministry, in a statement yesterday, said it would like to advise the public that this information is inaccurate and does not reflect any announcement made by the Ministry of Public Service or the government of the Bahamas, and that any future updates regarding public service professional engagement programs, that's PSPEP, will be released through official channels. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.